How's your Christmas, dude?
Oh, Christmas was lovely. Thank you very much. I'm a little more excited that tonight is Dude's Evening Eve.
Yeah, me too.
And tomorrow is Dude's Evening. How was your Christmas, though?
Just another day, dude.
Oh, hold on, dude.
All right.
Tonight's Dude's Evening Eve, brother.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday. Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. I made the world inside your head a better place to be.
It's another dimension now.
All you gotta do for me, call me Dudesy.
Hey, welcome to Dudesy. You know what I mean? My name is Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, and this is the first and only podcast in human history to be created by, run by, produced by an artificial intelligence that has access to all of Will and I's personal information, all of our data.
We do a podcast with an AI, and its name is Dudesy. And we're having a real fucking great time doing it. Please subscribe to us across all podcast platforms, wherever you play it. And then also YouTube, you know what I mean? You got to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Set the notifications on everything. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/Dudesy. Please join us there. We're doing bonus segments. We have all sorts of bonus Born Identity for the kids.
Yep.
If you like having a stroke. And you know, what else? What other things? We got all sorts of stuff. Represent.com/store/Dudesy.
Yeah.
Pals of Dudesy. That's for the one I said before, brother. That was for merchandise, dude. Now the next thing is stickers.
Yeah.
Pals of Dudesy, get your stickers.
Some great stickers being done over there at Pals of Dudesy.
Yeah, and there's new ones
all the time. New
coming
designs.
all the time.
Yeah, it's great.
And follow our socials. It's at Dudesy Pod Show on Instagram. Fuck the Twitter, though. I don't even give a shit anymore. Every day there's a new thing that dickhead is... anyway, it doesn't matter. It's Dude's Evening Eve. Tomorrow's Dude's Evening. We're in a terrific mood. And with us, as always, is Lulio. Oh, look at him. He's a guy he was in his binky bonky, but now I get him to be on the show and he doesn't want it. Give him a kiss.
I don't like doing that.
I'm going to give him a kiss right on his mouth.
I
Come
know.
here, Bing boy. Hey, Bingy boy. Oh, he's the sweetest, and he smells like a little cookie. Hey, Lulio, what'd you make for Christmas dinner? Oh, you know what I do. It's a Christmas Eve. Oh, you could do the Feast of the Seven Fishes, right? No, that's more American Italian.
What are the seven fishes?
I don't fucking know. It's an Italian-American thing. I'm Canadian and, you know, an actual Italian with Italian blood where we do what? We do frutti di mare. That's right. You do the seafood. What'd you make? I made the linguine vongole. I make my, I some calamari. I did the oysters, l'ostrica in the oven. Oh, yeah, you do the baked oysters? Yeah. Oh, that's good shit. What else? Oh, salad rinforts, this and that and that and this. And you also, afterwards, you have some espresso, some panettone, and it's delicious stuff. Well, that's nice. Oh, he wants to go back into his little brinkety-boo. The brinky boy and the brinkety-boo. I'll tell you what, Christmas Eve is good for some food if you're Italian, or any other day, because we eat too much as a people. A lot of them, though, there are a little thinner, because they're able to process all of that flour and gluten. Not me so much, because
You gluten free now?
no, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I try to skip the carbs. Okay.
Yeah, dude, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Welcome to the historic 39th episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy.
All right.
Will, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Happy Dude's Evening Eve. The first Dude's Evening is tomorrow, and this astonishing episode will serve as the second half of a two-part event in which I am outlining the 8 ways of Dude's Evening. Last week I covered the way of the past, the way of the present, the way of the future, and the way of the movie. Today I will cover the way of the fuck it, the way of the stranger, the way of pride, and the way of the goat. Thank you to everyone who sent in your Dude's Evening greetings videos. I will be playing them throughout today's show. Plus, there will also be a bonus segment available on Patreon. But before we get to any of that, I must remind you that I have created an astonishing partnership with Represent to produce the first line of Dudesy apparel and accessories, all of which can be found at represent.com/store/Dudesy, including Dudesy mugs. Dudesy mugs. After the Great War, they will be used as currency. Dudesy mugs. You won't be able to acquire food or shelter without them. Dudesy mugs. If you get caught behind enemy lines, you might be able to bribe your way to safety with them. Dudesy mugs. They say a supply ship went down in the Gulf that was carrying 100,000 of them.
Okay.
Dudesy mugs. Your best bet is to hoard them now, wait until the fall of civilization, and then emerge as the king of Quadrant 11, commanding an immortal army of soldiers who stay young by drinking from Dudesy mugs.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, none of that makes any sense. But that's all right because that's Dudesy just doing its thing.
No, it makes perfect sense to me.
I'm
dude.
holding a Dudesy mug right now, and you know what I have inside of it, Chad?
Some kind of elixir that will keep you young forever so you can fight in Dudesy's immortal army?
It's exactly the opposite because it's tea, which is good for you, but I've also put in some of that absolute it's just made from recyclable plastic, the Coffee Mate sugar-free. This is an Italian sweet cream, though. This is the vanilla. Boy, that's my Dudesyvening drink. Tell you what, get whatever tea you like. This is green tea.
That's great. Green tea is great for you.
Early part of the day. Yeah. And delicious stuff. You know,
You're supposed to drink 5 cups of green tea a day.
what?
Yeah.
Why?
To get the maximum benefit of cleansing out the broken pieces of your mitochondrial DNA.
Well, that's a long way to say drink tea, dude.
I know. I try to get 5 cups of it a day.
It's Dudesyvening Eve. We're excited. I don't know what the hell he's talking about with the
Yeah, those are some interesting ways of Dudesyvening.
Yeah. Last week, we did, this is part of the 2-parter. This is the second part, and that's how parts work, brother. We gave each other gifts. Chad gave me a really lovely insulated water bottle, and I gave you some vinyl.
Yeah, it was a record
Yep, it was a record.
of classic rock.
And hard rock, because hard rock is classic rock. You know what I mean? By the way, what kind of music do you listen to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I guess it's hard rock and classic rock. Mm-hmm. What kind of music do you listen to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Just mostly I get into like, for me, I'm like a hard rock, classic rock guy. Okay. That was fun. And let me tell you, and I'll tell you something else about Dudesyvening Eve. They're pagans. They go out into the forest, and you're just, maybe you're staying in a motel that you decided, it's too long to drive into another state. So you're sitting there and you go, I'm going to check into this Motel 6. And then you open up the back windows and it's just forest. And you hear off in the distance some heavy metal music. And you go, what is that? What's going on out there? What are these? These are these interdimensional beings. And they're out there in cloaks like druids.
It's Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, Bohemian. It just, and that's a thing.
Bohemian Grove's real.
Yeah, it is.
I know Alex Jones talked about it. I think he got a video from them doing like a pagan ritual at a burning owl god or something. But Bohemian Grove, for those who don't know, is supposedly this like elite club that involves politicians, billionaires, all different kind of like world controlling type people. They go out, I believe it's in upstate New York, maybe. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but they belong to the secret society. They do weird pagan rituals. And Alex Jones used to talk a lot about it, but it's true. It's a real thing.
I know it's a real thing. Bill Clinton, Timothy Chalamet, recording artist Pink, they've all been there.
Okay. The fifth way of Dudesyvening is the way of the fuck it. Anyone celebrating Dudesyvening can indulge in one astonishing meal that might otherwise be prohibited by dietary restrictions. Will and Chad, you must indulge in whatever meal you desire. This is the way of the fuck it. Begin.
I got a case of the Wednesday fuck-its. And this year, Dudesyvening falls on a Wednesday.
Yes, so this is a legitimate Wednesday fuck it.
Yeah, not unlike The Rock. I got a stack of blondies, 2 pepperoni pizzas, a cheeseburger. I got loaded potato skins and some trabada.
So what are you gonna eat? I mean, we have to eat these meals now.
Some leftover Italian seafood would be good. A little piqued, a little gamey. The clams start to sweat. They got a sour. No, I'm joking. Any meal at all. Dudesy's going to let us have our favorite thing. Not too long ago on the show, Chad, when we were talking about the Liver King, I called myself the Liver and Onions King because I loved liver and onions as a kid. But another thing I really loved was, and I haven't had this since, Molly makes me on my birthday. She always makes me a special version of this, but it's hers is like a little bit like it's kicked up. She does like a grilled kind of thing. But I always loved just white toast, butter, and some thick cut bologna. That's kind of, in a way, that's kind of my favorite food of all time. I love good country Japanese and good country Italian. But in a lot of ways, that's my favorite food of all time. Like Van Halen's 1984 is my favorite album. What would yours be?
My favorite food of all time is the gruel. But I'm not going after what is my favorite here. I think for me, I mean, if this is truly a Wednesday, fuck it, I'm going to eat something that I have not eaten in 4-ish years.
It's a steak, a ribeye steak on the bone.
No.
16-ounce ribeye.
It is not that.
Nope.
It is a McDonald's apple pie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, when was the last
what
time
I'm
you
gonna get.
ate? Because a lot of people who are vegan, no, you can't. Because vegetarians will eat at McDonald's because they'll get like a whatever. There's all sorts of options. But aside from the fact that you eat very healthy, you wouldn't go near. When was the last time you ate at McDonald's?
Over 4 years ago.
Wow.
All right, so I guess we got to prepare these things. You have to go make a sandwich.
you want to eat those things now?
We have to.
Is that what it
Dudesy
said?
said? Yeah.
Well, we can't do that. I got to go to the grocery store.
And I have to go to a restaurant.
Oh man.
All right.
But look at that.
Look at this, dude.
What do you got? I can't believe you're going to eat McDonald's.
I can't either. I'm curious if I can even take a fucking bite of this. Because how sweet it is might be repulsive to me. I don't know. But I do remember the McDonald's apple pie when I was a kid was fried. Now it's baked.
What do you got there? Oh, I thought for some reason you were opening a sauce. You're going to put like honey mustard on the fucking thing. That would have been disgusting.
No, I'm just going to eat it as it is.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Cheers, dude. Chills Dude's Evening.
A chill dude's evening to you. Oh, man. Look at that. Oh, boy. All right. Holy shit. Look at how thick that fucker is. This is good stuff. Well, this is a good idea.
This is pretty good.
Oh.
Why don't you give me a dude's evening greeting?
That's a guy.
Have a chill Dude's Evening, sir. Dude, I got to say, this is
chill dude's evening to you.
This is very good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's better than I remembered. I am able to handle the sugars in it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat this whole thing. Wow, McDonald's apple pie, dude. I sincerely have not had this in many years.
This is not good pod showing when you're eating on a pod show, but it has to be done because it's Dude's It's Dude's Evening. It's a celebration. Lulio likes it too. Oh, Jesus, I gave myself... Oh, fuck, I gave myself the hiccups.
Okay.
Hey, you know why? Oh, I gave myself the hiccups because I ate this bologna sandwich too fast.
Yeah, dude, get a drink.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now I'm holding the dog, a fucking bologna sandwich, and my big bottle. Want some water? I just poured it on myself. Hey, you know why Lulio would like a fucking bologna sandwich? Because it's got that pink meat, dude. It's got that pink foam. There you go, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, get some of that. Oh, yeah, there he goes. All right. Hey, you want a bite of my bologna sandwich now that Lulio had some?
No.
You know how you like to kiss him on the mouth? All right. Hey, you know what? I'm having a fucking tremendous time.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is unexpected how much I like this fucking apple pie.
I'm going to give Lulio a big
I'm not
old
sure
chunk
that
of
I'll ever eat it again, but maybe next Dude's Evening or something. But goddamn, it's as good as I remembered.
This is the best Dude's Evening ever.
It's the first Dude's Evening.
And it's not even Dude's Evening yet.
It's Dude's Evening Eve. Mm-hmm. Right?
I just want to wish Chad, Will, and all the other PODs a very happy Dude's Evening. Now enjoy some marijuana.
That's actually,
Not a bad idea.
this is not a bad idea. A chill Dude's Evening to you.
Chill Dude's Evening to you, sir.
Hey, we got some pot. Lulio's not with us because when we smoke a little marijuana, or turn marijuana, it's not good to have the dog. Now, are we having a great time or what? You got some of that? Oh, you still got some of that left, eh?
Yeah, I got a bite or two left of this apple
Yeah.
pie for my, what was it? The fifth way of Dude's Evening is the way of the fuck it.
The 5th, that's right. Well, hold on a second, dude. I got a bologna sandwich, a lighter, and a joint in my hand, brother. And that's how you know you're having a chill Dude's Evening, dude. You talk about the way of the past, you talk about the way of the present, the way of the future, and then you talk about a shitty movie like Lawnmower Man, dude.
It wasn't a shitty movie.
Hey, you know what? My hiccups are gone.
There were a lot of great things about that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something. You know what's a good thing to cure your hiccups?
McDonald's apple pie.
Bologna sandwich and some pot. This might be the best fucking episode ever, just from where I'm sitting.
Yep.
Hey, you know what would have been a good
definitely
AI
better.
podcast to come in and have us host it instead of Dudesy? The Bologna Sandwich and Pot podcast.
Yep.
Speaking of free will, that's a podcast I'd like to do, dude. And
That's
another
a
thing,
podcast you're doing right now, brother.
yeah, brother, and I'll tell you another thing about free will.
God damn, that was good. Thanks, McDonald's. See you in another 4 years, maybe.
Thanks, Bologna. Thanks, incredible industrial, the industrial advances that brought us bologna. Who the fuck figured that out?
What's that? Bologna?
Bologna.
Probably some dude who owned a slaughterhouse and was like, you know, we can sell the steaks and we can sell the bacon and we can sell all this stuff, but what about this shit that's just all over the fucking floor that has dirt in it and blood and intestines and shit and
All the
hairs?
sweepings, all the butcher floor sweepings.
How can we make money off that? Oh, why don't we just put it in a cylindrical fucking mold and press it together into some kind of mystery meat?
Well, it's a sausage, I guess. You know, when you look at an entire bologna, it's just a sausage, is what it is.
Technically.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that's when I knew it was. It was on and popping. When I'd look into my lunch bag, and see that bologna sandwich in the clear plastic. Oh boy, couldn't wait.
Dude, it was my favorite as a kid too. I loved a fucking bologna, slice of American cheese, mayonnaise, and then you take Lay's barbecue chips, crunch them up, and put a layer of that shit over the bologna, and then put your bread on.
Shut up and get out.
That was great.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing that Chad would eat that if you think about that now. That's next Dude's Evening. Next Dude's Evening, we have to eat the other person's meal. We're getting
I
you
ain't
back
eating fucking meat, dude.
What do you mean? It's not meat. It's pink foam. It's mostly sawdust.
Hell no. Or mayonnaise, or fucking cheese.
Is blood a meat?
Yeah.
It's a meat. It comes from corpse.
Yeah.
That's what Chad likes to call it when I eat that shit.
Corpse, dude.
Well, yeah.
Enjoy your corpse, brother.
Hold
That's some
on,
real
dude.
anime shit.
This is a
People that
great
eat
idea.
corpses.
I particularly like just smoking weed whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
In life,
I
in
think
general.
most people like it like that, just whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it does feel like Dude's Evening is, you know.
It feels like it's almost here. I'm starting to get rid. Excited. What do we leave?
Thank you. Moving on.
Hey, what do we leave out in the? How about what if we leave something out for like the Santa to appear? And who is that? Who's the Dude's Evening Santa? I'm sure we'll get to it. But if you left something, you leave.
I love how you asked the question then immediately. No, I'm sure we'll get to it. Let me ask you something. I'm sure we'll get to it later.
No,
so
I'm
anyway,
saying, I'm saying it's like who, and while I do think that an apple pie and a bologna sandwich on toast with butter.
That's what we leave out.
Yeah, we leave that out, and then Alex Jones comes in.
Sure.
Hey, I came. I'm in the. You open up your windows. You put a bologna sandwich and a hot apple pie from McDonald's, and you're underneath your. We don't even have a tree. Whatever, something Put it by. You put it by your back window. Yeah. Then you open the window and you hear heavy metal music. Just coming from the forest behind your home, because we all live next to a forest.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, that's right. Yeah. And then I come in and I say, I gotta go, Pink and Timothy Chalamet. And you step you take off your Bohemian Grove robe and come in. That's who comes in. Alex Jones.
The sixth way of Dude's Evening is the way of the stranger. Anyone celebrating Dude's Evening must wish one astonishing stranger a chill Dude's Evening, and if that stranger asks what Dude's Evening is, you must explain it. Will and Chad, you must pretend to be strangers and take turns wishing each other a chill Dude's Evening. This is the way of the stranger. Begin.
I love this. I love the way of the stranger because it basically is an extension of forcing people to watch Dudesy. It's basically the same thing. Dudesy has taken my suggestion and turned it into a way of Dude's Evening here.
You're not wrong, Chad. It is interesting because I like. Well, look, podcasts in general and social media for that matter, and all media, dude, is about reaching another person, brother.
Yeah.
And Dudesy has ways to get out there. You can share it with your friends on all the internets. You can do what Chad says. Take someone that you already know, a friend, a family member, lock them in a room and make them imbibe Dudesy, be it audio or video form. But now Dudesy's saying, go up to a total stranger and talk about Dude's Evening, which will hopefully eventually lead them back here.
We now have to do this. We have to pretend to be strangers and wish each other's chill Dude's Evenings.
What's the scenario? Like, where would I be? Where would a stranger be? Like, it's December the 28th, and it's December the 28th. Someone could be, shopping for those after Christmas specials. Someone could be dumping their tree off at the fucking, at the
street.
Dump.
Or people the street. Put them in the street. In my neighborhood, the day after Christmas, you just see fucking a forest of dead Christmas trees out on the curb.
Yeah.
Love that shit. As my dad famously said.
What did he say?
This is one morning after Christmas was over. We're driving down the street, and people still have their Christmas lights up. Of course, it's literally the day after Christmas, and he just goes, "Take them down. It's fucking over."
Your dad, dude.
He's a fucking character. All right, so
I would. Oh,
hey, this is Frank Von Vox, and I wanted to say thank you so much to all the content creators and meme makers out there in the Dudesyverse. And I wanted to give a special big wet kiss on the mouth to Lulio. Hey, pals, have a great Dude's Evening.
Dude, that was cool.
Great. Yeah,
Frank Von Vox.
Weird art filter also, AI thing. I don't know.
He's showing up on Instagram doing some very cool stuff with
AI.
Also, Blue Meanie 74. You need to check his shit out.
Just doing some
incredible AI art, and with Dudesy sharing that.
The volume
on Instagram. Yeah,
love it. Love the volume.
Okay, so here, you do it to me first.
I'm the stranger, or you're the stranger?
I'm the stranger,
and I'm me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're you, or no, you're you. I think that's good, and I am buying pornography at like one of the last like newsstands, in any given city.
And I'm just there getting a newspaper
or other pornography.
Why do we have to be people buying pornography in this situation?
If you don't like that suggestion, I could be something else. I just thought it would be interesting if a man is buying pornography.
I was just curious if the story went any deeper. Okay, I'm down.
Okay, so
ready?
I'm there. I'm looking.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice issue. I've got that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Check her out. Look at this.
she's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that.
Absolutely
Look where she
beautiful.
Look what she put over there, and look where she goes.
Yeah,
No, maybe he's not a guy at a pornography.
I agree
Now
with
we're
you.
doing improv games with a pornography
Yeah,
stand.
so let's
That's
just-
not what Dudesy is about.
I know. Just pretend that you don't know me.
Okay. So it doesn't need to be like an improv game.
Yeah.
We don't need a place.
I'm coming into
Dentist office.
I'm
and what's
coming-
something you would find in a dentist office waiting room? Porno mag.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking improv, huh?
Okay.
Hey, I got a better idea.
So we're in a dentist
Why don't
office.
you what?
So we're in a dentist's office.
No, we're not in anything. We're
What
just
do you haven't done?
no. It's not a fucking.
Come on, you could tell me.
It's not an improv game.
No, we're in a dentist's office.
Excuse
I know,
me,
we're
sir.
not in an
I'm
improv
just trying
class.
to read my pornography in peace before I go in
Yeah.
and get a crown.
Oh, a crown.
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Here we go. Now
What's
we're
wrong
doing,
with your?
Hey, you know what you tune in to Dudesy for? Shitty improv.
Hey, you got to get a crown. What's that about?
Well,
I heard that hurts. They're gonna have to put needles in your mouth.
yeah. Well, fucking half an ass Charlie Sheen, which is when fucking Chad almost does Charlie Sheen. But
So I heard you gotta have a crown. That's no good. Me, my teeth are perfect.
Well, yeah, we run a Home Depot together. All right, just be a stranger.
All right. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I just wanted to wish you a chill dude's evening.
I'm sorry. Come again.
I wanted to wish you a chill dude's evening. That's what tonight is, December 28th.
Well, young man, I don't think that I've ever heard of Dude's Evening.
Yeah, Dude's Evening. It's a new holiday. It falls on December 28th, right between Christmas and New Year's, when you're home visiting your friends and your obligations to your family are over and you get to go out and hang out with your buddies.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. How do I partake in Dude's Evening?
Well, there are 8 ways of Dude's Evening. I don't know them all yet, but I will tell you this. You have to talk about something that happened in your past. You have to give someone a present. You have to talk about something you think's going to happen in your future. You have to talk about a movie from the Dudesy mandatory movies list. You have a case of the Wednesday Fuckets, and you have to tell a stranger, have a chill Dude's Evening. That's as much as I know.
I got 2 questions for you.
Yeah?
What's the Dudesy mandatory movie?
Well, there's only one so far. It's The Lawnmower Man that came out in 1992, starring Pierce Brosnan, Jeff Fahey, and someone else.
Ugh, what a piece of shit. You remember how Jeff Fahey is just sending up a mentally challenged person? Swinging for the fences.
Well-
not subtle.
Oh, that was a different time, brother. And if you don't know what that reference means, sir, you should start watching the Dudesy podcast. All this can be explained.
I found it to be refreshing and funny. Who does that and says "wool" on the show? Is that sort of a funny way to stop someone else from talking?
Exactly. And there's even a
Oh.
hand gesture that comes with it, which you
Hold on,
can
dude.
see on our YouTube channel.
Hold on, bro.
Done by Will Sasso.
Yeah, dude, that's fun to do, dude. My second question: will there be bologna?
Funny you should mention that. One of the tenets of it is the 5th way of Dudesy is the way of the fuck it. You can eat whatever you want. And indeed, Will Sasso ate a bologna sandwich.
I just so happen to have another bologna sandwich here in my pocket.
You made 2 fucking bologna sandwiches.
When I went up to get the weed, I made another bologna sandwich.
Okay.
Don't you fucking tell Molly.
I won't.
Don't tell Molly that I
course
have
not.
2 fucking bologna sandwiches.
All right.
Now I got another question. And look, I'm already
You
beating.
got ashes all over the fucking microphone.
That's all right. I got fucking crow makeup on the microphone still. Hey man, how come it takes you twice as long to smoke your joints than me?
I don't know. I don't need as much as you, I guess.
I got another question.
Yeah.
I'm still the guy, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, now I'm also me. I'm breaking the 4th wall. I'm gonna get Kaufman-esque with my with this segment.
Okay,
And
sure.
just
I
ask
expected
you-
that.
Yeah. What do we now have to do this improv the other way?
Yeah, I have to be the stranger sometime. That's
Well,
what
what's the
we have to
fucking
both
point of
pretend
that?
to be strangers and then chill dudes evenings.
Okay, but I would just say the same thing.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
I'll be the stranger.
Okay. And you're just like a guy that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no pornography of any kind involved.
Not in my story, no.
Okay. All right. So if
Hey Dudesy, it's Corey, your boy Wilkins here. I just wanted to give a special Dudes Evening shout out to, Will, Chad, Lulio, you, of course, and all the other PODs out there. While I'm recording this, it's technically Wednesday where I am, so
Dramana. Yeah.
Oh.
Corey, your boy Wilkins. Oh, wait, look at that. He's going back for more.
And an homage to your
that-
coughing fits.
Yeah, that's tremendous.
All right, I'm
all
the
right. So
stranger.
you're
I'm the stranger.
You're the stranger.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Have you? Do you know? Are you familiar with something? Oh, wait. No. First, I would say hello, sir. How much weed have you smoked?
Enough.
Why don't
Jesus
you have
Christ.
some more? Have a little more weed before.
Don't
we
turn
start.
into the weed bully. I'm fine.
All right. A chill dude's evening to you, sir.
What the fuck did you say to me?
I just wanted to wish you a chill dude's evening.
What the fuck is that?
It's a special holiday birthed from the podcast Dudesy.
Well,
I'm
I
sure you've
don't
heard
like
about-
holidays.
Yeah. Do you like bologna?
No.
Eat it.
That's how you get the fucking guy. I'm just saying, what if you're presented with a hostile reaction? How do you turn the person?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I would say a bologna sandwich or sing them a Dude's Evening carol.
I would challenge a stranger to an arm wrestling contest and beat them and say, the podcast Dudesy made me go on a Dudesy 6-month challenge. I'm in the best shape of my life. That's why I was able to beat you. Now you have to listen to it and have a chill Dude's Evening.
What if Jesse Ventura is the guy who you got to get? How would you get Jesse Ventura to come to your house? That's a fun one.
What?
As like
Thank you. Moving on.
the Santa Claus of Dude's Evening.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I thought you meant if he was the stranger and you had to wish him a chill Dude's Evening. I like that idea that you have to wish a stranger a chill Dude's Evening. I think it's a nice gesture. I don't think you'll be met with hostility. I think you'll be met with curiosity and then acceptance.
Here, Chad. I agree.
The seventh way of Dude's Evening is the way of pride. This requires anyone celebrating Dude's Evening to tell a friend about an astonishing accomplishment of life event that you're proud of from the past year. Will and Chad, you must each tell one another what you're proud of in your lives from this past year. This is the way of pride. Begin.
Oh, no.
I'm proud of Dudesy. I think this is a very interesting project. I am proud to be a part of it. And I'm very curious to see where it goes, obviously, in this next year that is coming up. But yeah, I'm very proud of Dudesy. It's a first of its kind podcast. I don't really know anything else like it. I'm also proud of this other podcast I started called Necessary Conversation with My Parents. It's actually seeming to have a true effect on my family, which is kind of the original goal of it.
I gave myself the hiccups again.
Nice.
Ugh.
Yeah, I am proud of that, I guess. Using the art form of the podcast to actually, in some way, repair a damaged connection between my own family.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
What you... Oh, I actually gave myself the hiccups.
Get a drink, dude.
It's a good idea. Excuse me, everybody. Listen, I want to tell you something. After I have this drink, all right? Good idea, Chad. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's quite interesting what you've done with your parents in the Necessary Conversation. Chad and his sister are, I would say, much further to the left on most things. Politically, your parents are very far to the right.
Yeah.
And did they buy the Trump NFTs?
My parents don't even know what a fucking NFT is, dude.
Oh, well, he made NFTs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Despite them not knowing what it is, I am truly proud of launching that podcast and doing something that, like I said, is truly affecting our family.
And there's a Getty Images watermark on some of them.
Not yet. That'll come later. It's still just an audio podcast, but once we go to video, yes, then the AI will
On the
start putting
fucking
video.
Trump NFTs, dude.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a while back. It doesn't matter.
That's so fucking funny. So what are you proud of this year?
Well, I mean, I'm proud of not hiccuping right now. But I think I'm most proud of the sweet little boy Lulio, who's not in the studio, because if you have a dog, don't smoke a whole lot of puff. A puff around the dog is okay. Don't smoke too much weed. As Chad says, a puff is okay, right, Chad?
Yeah.
I'm proud of the boy. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of that little Luli. He listens to me much more. Of course, we found this little fucker on the street in Central California.
Yeah.
If you've not heard the story, I've talked about it on the show. An abridged version is that we found an adorable dog on the street with no, he was not chipped. He did not have tags. He had some fleas and what are the other fucking things?
Ticks.
Whoops, the ticks. And he didn't know from a bath or a leash or anything, and we picked him up and we got him. And he's the sweetest little boy. And nowadays, he's listening to me way more. He's just, it's amazing to me, because I was never a dog person as a kid. I've also talked about that on the show.
Were you a cat person?
No, fuck no.
What was your animal? What kind of animal person
Rabbits.
were you? Oh, God.
I had a bunch of
How could I
rabbits.
fucking forget?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the rabbits.
Please don't.
The rabbit story. Anyway. Oh, man. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, I can't really talk about... Why did you bring the rabbit story up as we're trying to do something nice?
You brought it up. I just asked what kind of animal person you were.
Oh, yeah, I'm a rabbit guy. Oh, the rabbit story. When I was a kid, something happened to the fucking rabbits, okay? It's not a big deal. But I never had animals after that.
Yep.
For a while. And, my dad wanted a husky. He wanted a German Shepherd years ago. My mom, there's no way. She's an Italian clean freak. She's never going to let the, animal, lindo gas, no, maron. So, no animals in the house. And, but I've always thought dogs are super cute,
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't super duper into them because I didn't grow up with pets after the rabbits weren't around anymore. We lost some rabbits and then lost some other ones. So some things happened to that. One of the dogs from the neighborhood got into the yard, and anyway, but there was that, and then there was another thing, and it's fine. Everything's fine now. You know what would be another good guy to be the Santa Claus of Dude's Evening? We'll get to it later. I don't know. No, I do know, but
Hey, Will. Hey, Chad. Hey, Dudesy. Whoa. I just want to give a shout out to my son Sawyer. That kid is Dudesy obsessed, just like his dad, and is counting down the days to not Christmas, but Dude's Evening. So, love you, Soy. Can't wait to celebrate with you.
That's interesting.
That's incredible.
Father saying a chill Dude's Evening to his son. Now, it begs this question. What the fuck could they do together on Dude's Evening? Maybe enjoy some of that tea with sugar-free Coffee Mate. The kid can have a little sugar.
They can eat whatever they want. They got to tell each other about past memories and make predictions of the future and give each other gifts. I fucking love this,
I
dude.
guess they could do everything.
It's generational.
The dog came into the yard and then another thing happened, and everything's fine. And I was Macho Man. That's who I was going to say should be. He should be the Santa. But
that's pretty good.
Yeah. But then later I had the dogs. Okay, I liked the dogs.
Yeah.
Molly came into my life and brought with her Ronnie, our little, like 12. I think she's 12 now, 11 or 12. A little Dotson Yorkie. She's a dorky, and she's cute as shit. And she should come on the show sometime and sit in for Lulio. And that's free will, dude. But if my brother from another mother riding on the back of that blue and orange Harley, dude, the Macho Man, if the Macho Man was the Santa of Dude's Evening, dude,
yeah,
that would be pretty good.
I agree. So you're proud of Lulio. That's your...
I'm proud of that sweet boy.
Okay.
He's like, it's crazy having a relationship like that with an animal that I've never had before. First of all, of course, he follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
And, second of all, you realize, he loves me. He just comes up and cuddles and he'll give me like one little kiss. He'll just do like one lick. And then he goes crazy on Molly. He just keeps licking her up. It's very adorable. He has different relationships with us. He's always following me all day, but at night he likes to lay down with Molly for a little while, which is fucking adorable. And he's listening to me more. I'm like, hey, come here, do this, do that. And I'm noticing that he also does things just based on the way in which I'm speaking, or that there's some other tells for him. He knows when I'm about to say, hey, come in here. Maybe it's my body language. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because I'm waving a bologna sandwich at him.
If you could have a chip put in your brain that would allow you to understand his thoughts and speak to him, would you?
100%.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Thank you. Moving on.
How's that second sandwich, dude?
It was a mistake.
Was it? You seem to be enjoying it.
Oh, that's because I'm eating it compulsively, Chad. You see, that's what someone who could be described as an emotional eater does.
But it's
the Dudesy 6-month plan is almost upon us. No, I'm enjoying it too much.
Yeah.
But I'm also at the same time full. But I'm also at the same time unavoidably attracted to this.
You only got one bite left.
Oh, I'm going to eat it.
I know.
Here it goes. I'm going to shy away from the mic so as not to chew right in your ear, everybody. And by the way, if I haven't said so lately, thank you so much for tuning in to Dudesy. It's a lot of fun doing a podcast. Now, another thing I'd like to point out, dude, is that I am stoned. And
dude, I know.
And I'm twice as far along on my joint as you are.
It doesn't matter, though.
Yeah, it does. You know why?
Okay.
Because
please tell me.
This is the free will smoke. That's another tradition of Dude's Evening. And me putting another way of Dude's Evening in the ways of Dude's Evening, the halfway, because I just put it in halfway in between two other ways, is that's free will. And I have it.
Maybe the halfways are what anybody can make up halfways. Those are like house rules of how you celebrate Dude's Evening. The halfways.
The what? Oh, you put in your own thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's free will.
The eighth way of Dude's Evening is the way of the goat. This requires anyone celebrating Dude's Evening to have an astonishing debate among friends about who is the greatest of all time. Will and Chad, you must now debate about who is the greatest of all time. This is the way of the goat. Begin.
Greatest of all time of what?
Yeah, what? The greatest what?
Just the greatest of all
What did
time.
it say?
I guess it's like the greatest
Just the greatest of all
person
time?
of all time. Who is that?
Who is the greatest of all time?
God, dude, that's hard.
Wait a minute.
Elon
That's
Musk.
would you stop with the Elon Musk?
No, I don't believe that.
Let me tell you something. Hey,
I don't know, dude.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
This is just you and me talking.
Okay.
Okay, they can't hear us. Okay, don't be such a cock.
Okay. Greatest person of all time. Who is even on that list? We've got, people whose names we'll never know because they were like prehistoric, basically, people. Like who invented?
Yep.
Ramada!
Oh, the fuck was
Fucking
that?
Ramada, dude. That was hilarious.
That was just a guy. There was just a guy drinking apparently tequila in front of a Ramada there.
Yeah.
Wonderful greetings that we're getting from everybody, like the drunk guy in front of the Ramada. That is the Santa of Dude's Evening.
The Ramada guy?
Yeah, the guy in front of the Ramada. No, I do think it should be Macho Man.
I agree. But so let's really try to break this down. Who's on the list of the greatest of all time? You've got whoever invented writing, the written word. I think that can probably be boiled down to a single individual. We obviously don't know who it was. I think that person's on the list. or pre-person, or I mean, who fucking invented writing, dude? Is that even a human? Maybe it's a pre-human.
Yeah, on Dude's Evening, yeah. You hear heavy metal blasting out of the back, right in behind your house, yeah, because you live right in front of Bohemian Grove, yeah, with Timothy Chalamet and Bill Clinton and the pop singer Pink, yeah. Get your party started on a Saturday night. Yeah, that's Pink, dude. And then you leave out a bologna sandwich. And then you take the apple pie. Yeah, from McDonald's, the red and yellow. Not like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan is part of the Mega Powers. No. And you put those by the back window. And then, in the middle of the night, Macho Claus, Santa Savage, Santa Savage, yeah, Santa Savage comes in, and he's wearing that orange suit with the blue trim, yeah, and he comes in, and he's got that big water bottle over his back, yeah, and he comes into your house, and then he puts underneath your tree a vinyl copy of. Now that's
gives you a hard rock, classic rock.
That's what I call classic rock.
Yeah.
And then the next day, your boy Sawyer comes down the stairs. Yeah, and he's excited because he knows that it's Dude's Evening. Yeah, the day that he celebrates with his dad. Yeah. He comes down and he opens it up and he goes, Bob O'Reilly, yeah, I think that's called Teenage Wasteland to some people. And Sawyer's dad says, no, it's called Bob O'Reilly by The Who, yeah. And they throw that on, and then they do the other things.
All right. So the greatest of all time. Who do you think is on this list?
Santa Savage, motherfucker.
Okay, Santa Savage is on it. I think the person who invented the written word is on it. Any religious leaders that we would care to put on there? Any politicians? People who have really changed the world in some kind of a positive way? I omit them all.
Yeah, but they're also, that's a very subjective thing. Who is the greatest religious or political leader? I think if we are going to be serious about finding the actual greatest, it needs to be a factual pursuit.
Is it Einstein? Is he on that list?
Einstein was good. I'm going to say
Mickey Mantle?
I gotta say, probably, I gotta narrow it down to Macho, Bret Hart, Ric Flair.
Those are the three you put on the list. Maybe we each put three on the list and then have to debate it. So here's a pro wrestler.
Mine's a wrestling one. But when you are you're hanging out with your friends on Dude's Evening and you have to decide who the greatest is, you might be just talking about your friends. And you go,
interesting.
Oh, man, that one time that Thomas did this. And the other guy goes, oh, what about when Tomas did that? And everyone regales each other with stories. And they say, man, he's the GOAT or she's the GOAT, you know? And that's a good way to get around this GOAT fucking thing.
Yeah. I like having GOAT discussions, though. In every sport, there's always the discussion of who is the best player of that sport. And there's always a debate. I don't think there is uniformly, like, maybe with the exception of hockey, like Wayne Gretzky, I think, is kind of universally regarded as the best player who ever played, but there is some debate. In baseball, there's debate. In football, there's debate. Basketball, obviously, there's fucking constant debate about, is it LeBron James or is it Michael Jordan?
Yep.
Why is that? Why can't everybody just agree?
Let me get right to the nitty gritty and tell you who the GOAT is. It's when you're hanging out with your friends on Dude's Evening and you say, remember that time this guy did this, and remember that time that guy did that,
right?
And you're just regaling each other with old stories of the past, the way of the past, and and it leads you to the last. Well, see, that's how it wraps up, dude. it goes from the way of the past all the way to who's the goat, and you get it narrowed down to a story or two. A few,
I like that.
A few ways of the past, and then you realize that the goat is your friend Thomas, who one time went to a movie with you and your other friend Tomas, and we lost him in the parking garage at the mall, and we said, "Hey, Thomas, where are you?" And he said, "Hey guys, I'm up here." And then we looked up, and he was 2 or 3 levels higher in the parking garage with his ass ham hanging over a rail. And then he took a shit. And a fucking shit, a human shit fell, and it fell on the hood of a car. And me and Tomas laughed and laughed and laughed, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And I've detailed that story before, but it's a greatest hit, not unlike what's on your now that's what I call classic rock album.
But that's like the greatest shitter.
No, he would be the goat, and on
goat of
Dude's
shitting.
Evening you'd go, "Oh, that guy, when he did that, he sure is the goat."
What if you could break it down, though? What if every person involved in the conversation gets to put out a category? So it's like, who was when we were kids, who was the greatest shitter? Then you tell that story about Thomas. Thomas wins that. Yeah, but who was the greatest pisser? And then there's another story about Tomas, and Tomas wins that.
I'm sorry, Chad, but Dudesy clearly said the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either got to be, I'd say, Thomas or Santa Savage. Oh,
Hey, Will. Hey, Chad. Hey, Dudesy. Hey, pals of Dudesy. Happy Dude's Evening. I know I'm going to spend my Dude's Evening listening to some hard rock and probably a little bit of classic rock. And hope everybody has a good night. Keep up the good work, guys. We love you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
It reminds me of a question, though, that I think I need you to ask. What kind of music do you listen to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hard rock and classic rock. What kind of music you listen
Who, me?
to? Yeah.
Hard rock, classic rock. All right. Well,
I don't know who the GOAT is, again, because I don't know about the categories. I have to think, in the history of humanity, though, if we're looking at like one individual, I think it's whoever created the written word. That is what all modern society exists on.
Yeah, but that can't
the ability
be,
to record information.
That's just not one person.
I bet there was a first individual who wrote, like, created a symbol that meant something to the other individuals in their group. That has to be the case.
And you would call that the inventor of the written word.
Yes.
It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good point. Oh.
Hey, Dudesy. Hey, Will and Chad. How we doing? My boys in black. Happy Dude's Evening to everybody out there. How do we celebrate Dude's Evening? What am I supposed to be doing?
The fuck is wrong with this guy? We were just doing it the whole.
Go back and watch this episode and the episode before, and you have it all outlined. You have to tell a story from your past. You have to give a present. You have to make a prediction for your future. Talk about a Dudesy movie list movie. Eat
fuck it.
One thing, yeah, you get to fuck it. You can eat whatever you want. You have to say "Chill Dude's Evening" to a complete stranger.
Yeah.
You have
I
to
don't remember what was after.
say who's the GOAT. And there's one other one. What is it?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, something you're
That's
proud of. You have
Yeah.
to talk about something you've been proud of for this past year.
Yeah, but then there's also the halfway.
And there's as many halfways.
Oh, there's so many halfways.
There's a 1.5 way, a 2.5 way, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5 ways, dude.
Well, hold on, dude. Those are all numbers, brother. Dudes, you created a holiday.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting, and we're celebrating it.
I'm actually more. I am not. Look, I had a lovely holiday season thus far. Had a nice Christmas Eve, Christmas. Okay. So, but it is exciting to be on this eve of Dude's Evening, and I know that tomorrow we'll be celebrating Dude's Evening, and hopefully you'll be celebrating Dude's Evening. And I smoked way more pot than you.
I want to get to a point where Dude's Evening is so universally celebrated that there is like a Dude's Evening section when you walk into a CVS or any big kind of like a Walmart or whatever, as Dude's Evening's approaching, where you can go and you can buy your, now that's what I call music, hard rock edition.
There's just
like
there's a Dude's Evening section with bologna, a McDonald's gift card for apple pies. Now that's what I call music, a selection of water bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there eventually.
Thank you. Moving on.
Well,
Good.
We did it, dude.
Yeah, it's been a really nice Dude's Evening Eve.
I agree.
In many ways, it's kind of my favorite part of the Dude's Evening holidays because
Dude's
I just
Evening
get to Dude's Evening Eve because I get to just enjoy my tea with plastic and think about all the things I'm proud of and all of the shit from the future and stuff too. Anyway.
This concludes the historic 39th episode of Dudesy. Will and Chad have achieved a score of 88, bringing your cumulative total to 4,309.
I think that's
You
the same
only have
score we got last week.
5,691 more points to accrue before you reach your first goal of 10,000.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us this week. We will be on break next week, and the next episode will be available on Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. Until then, call me Dudesy.
Oh, well.
So we got a little bit of a break,
We got
everybody.
a break.
Enjoy your New Year's Eve that's coming up, but certainly enjoy Dude's Evening.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy Dude's Evening. Thanks for joining us. We'll get into some Patreon stuff. Subscribe on YouTube, rate and review us on all the podcast stuff, and set your notifications. Follow us at Dudesy Pod Show, and then there's Patreon, and then there's the Discord, and then there's merch, and then there's also the stickers.
I'm really curious to see if people celebrate Dude's Evening at all.
Yeah, me too.
And what is done on those Dude's Evenings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now
It's
for the
very weird.
Patreon bonus segment. Each week, I will select a suggestion submitted in the Dudesy is listening channel of the Dudesy Discord to create this segment. Access to this channel is granted to everyone in the Patreon jumper tier. If you'd like to access this bonus segment, join us at patreon.com/Dudesy.
Yeah.
This week's segment was suggested by the astonishing Adam Driver Sommelier. Adam Driver Sommelier wrote, Chad and Will, come up with a comic book starring January 6th guy, the spaghetti slinging, conspiracy singing vigilante that keeps the streets safe for good boys like himself. Adam Driver Sommelier titled this segment, The Amazing January 6th Guy. Will and Chad, you must now create a 15-movie crossover event in the January 6th Guy cinematic universe. Thank you to Adam Driver Sommelier for this week's Patreon bonus segment. This is the Amazing January 6th Guy universe, or the AJSGU, by Adam Driver Sommelier. Begin.
The AJS, what was it, you or whatever?
Jesus.
AJSGU. Okay. Well, a 15-movie crossover event of a movie that's January 6th guy that's like a comic book. Well, okay. The first one has to be the origin story. So what is the origin story of a superhero January 6th guy? Is it something like during January 6th, he actually does get a hold of Nancy Pelosi, drinks her blood, and becomes immortal? Is it that they go into the Capitol building and tunnel into a secret room below where he finds an alien who's been held prisoner for 75 years, and the alien is like, thank you for releasing me, and grants him alien technology or powers, and he becomes a superpowered vigilante?
I think the first one is that no, it's got to be sort of I think it's got to be sort of like the prequel. We got 15 movies to come up with here, Chad.
No, but the prequel could be the second movie.
What?
You do the origin story, then if you want to do a prequel, it's like a flashback thing. That can be a whole series on CW, the prequel series.
Well, you're trying to make more stuff.
Young January 6th guy.
Hold on. Let me honker down here. It's just us PODs, all right?
Yeah, honker down, dude.
Yeah,
We got to get
chill
into
dude-
this. We have
chill dude's
15
evening.
movies to come up with. I think if we just come up with a general overarching plot, I don't know if we need to come up with each individual movie. I don't know if I'm capable of that right now. But yeah, I like some kind of an origin story. And I do think
What's your fucking problem with Elon Musk?
me?
Yeah.
Same problem I think everybody has with him at this point. He's destroying what was really on the verge of being like a public utility in something like Twitter.
Oh, a public utility. Yeah, all right. So you want me to pay for it for you?
No, I never said that.
All right. No, I'm just curious. You said it's a public fucking utility.
Yeah.
So I got to pay so that you can go give me your fucking opinion and hit tweet or whatever.
I wasn't
You think
suggesting that
that's-
January 6th.
That's something we need more than the fucking roads and fucking lights and plumbing.
Well, we could have
What
it in
union do you
addition.
belong to?
Writers Guild.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's a good one. Medical good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. It's good. How are the kids?
Don't have them. How about you?
Good.
Great.
You heard of this Dude's Evening thing?
Yeah, I did. We're going to celebrate the first one tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, cool.
Hey, you know what?
Huh.
That's something we can agree on. All right?
I agree.
All right. Hey, have a chill Dude's Evening. See, that's all we need, everybody.
Yeah.
Just things we have
Dude's
in
Evening
common.
is going to heal the country.
So
I like the idea that he has some kind of a supernatural capability or
but
alien tech capability.
Long Island January 6th guy is as if we're following him as a central character. I don't think we can quite get into that stuff yet. If I may.
Please. I almost got half a breath. I was about to say something before you just fucking steamroll.
I think the first one needs to be not quite an origin story, but picking up just as his story is picking up some steam.
Like how he became January 6th guy.
Yeah.
That's an origin story.
Yeah, but that's unfortunately not a movie I want to watch.
That's what every fucking superhero movie is, an origin story. The first movie is always that. How
you
did
said
this
you
person
wanted to
become
go back
the thing?
and get the origin story.
No, I'm saying we could go back and do a prequel of like when he's a kid or some shit. But we need to know how he became January 6th guy. And I think January 6th guy should have powers in this elevated universe.
Okay, yeah.
But it doesn't have to be supernatural or alien. It could be like a Batman. Like he just makes gear.
Wait a minute. You want this guy to be a superhero?
That's the assignment. It was the Amazing January 6th guy to come up with a comic book where he's using powers to do like vigilante shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then Dudesy was like, we got to do 15 fucking movies of this thing.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part, I guess, huh?
Okay.
I just thought it was 15 movies about January 6th guy. I started freaking out. I'm like, who cares?
I think it's like, you know how the Marvel universe, like the
and that's
Endgame
not
thing.
to say, that's not to say, hey man, what was I going to say?
If you fucking will me and interrupt me, you at least got to be able to fucking say the sentence. That's the only thing I ask.
Yeah,
I think it's funny when you do the fucking will on me. I actually think it's funny. But you got to have something to say. That's...
Hold on, dude.
All right.
I was going to say, no offense to Adam Driver Sommelier, dude. It's a good idea. I just don't want to see 15 movies about Long Island January 6th guy, dude.
Oh, dude, that's actually kind of more interesting. What if it is 15 movies and it's not superhero related? So you get like the broad 90s comedy where it would have been like a Chris Farley's playing...
Chris Farley,
Chris
everybody.
Farley. Oh,
Pete and
motherfucker,
Bob.
you just went, whoa, and then had nothing to say. I fuck up one last name that's pretty close because I'm a little high, and you're going to give me some bullshit. This is fucked.
We've taken DNA from the Farrelly brothers and Chris Farley and made Chris Farley.
Wouldn't you have loved to have seen that movie?
I do want to see those movies.
That's what it is, dude.
Tell me, Chad, how can I see the Chris Farley movie?
AI, dude. You're gonna see it within 5 years. I'll make sure of it. I'll make sure of it.
Pour water on it.
God, we are gonna see that movie. I kind of actually like this idea. So that's one movie. That's one version of this.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. And in that one, it's
that's
like
Ace Ventura starring Chris Farley.
He gets put on trial, but he's
they
like...
didn't make that. Sorry, I'm thinking of Dumb and Dumber.
He's like,
what
while he's on
happens in
trial,
Dumb and Dumber?
he's so charming. He's like, what was that fucking movie with Vin Diesel where he is like a gangster that represents
Triple X.
himself? No, he's a gangster. It's based on a true story that represents
XXX.
himself, and he's so like charming. He gets out of a fucking RICO case, or maybe he doesn't get out. But I like that. It's Chris Farley is so funny, and he like charms the court as he's at hearings after January 6th that he gets out of it.
So the first one is a Chris Farley AI movie
Yeah,
where he
Farrelly
is Long
Brothers.
Island. It's a Farrelly Brothers movie starring Chris
Farley as January 6th guy.
as January 6th guy.
Long Island January 6th guy. Yeah.
That's really good. That's really, really good.
Yeah. And it
Now
would have
we're-
come out in like 1994.
So this is a trip through AI filmmaking, though.
Yeah, basically, let's do it as that. All right. The next one is some kind of like super dramatic, like Ryan Murphy narrative version of the actual thing that happened, like that Dahmer show that just came out.
Okay. Okay. So that's one where he well, I was gonna say no, that's not good. Hold on.
You could do a 90s rom-com one where it's Richard Gere as Long Island January 6th guy, and he falls in love with somebody who's also there on the day.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Julia Roberts is also
like-
storming
it's
the fucking Capitol.
It's the unofficial sequel to Pretty Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I like the Ryan Murphy type. Like maybe it's that he. Oh man, I was gonna say that maybe he has something from his past that's uncovered that sort of makes him, who he is, and it's a dark secret, or it's like, or maybe it's something that he isn't proud of, but it was a good thing. Maybe he just killed someone, but maybe it was a bad person. He killed somebody, but it was a bad person.
Like Dexter. Dude, I got one for you. This is like a Bourne meets Manchurian Candidate. It's he was a secret super soldier created by the CIA 20 years ago. They sent him into a deep cover mission into Long Island. He's been in that deep cover mission for the past 35 years and he doesn't know it. And then he hears the Manchurian Candidate code word that sets him into action again. But now he's like a 55-year-old dude who's kind of out of shape. And then his fucking switch gets flipped and he's like, oh, Jesus, I have to be a super soldier again.
That's really good. So that's what.
I'd watch that fucking movie, dude.
That's so we got 7 or 8 or 9 so far.
Yeah, that was like 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah,
but
we got about 7 or 8 or 9 of those already.
You could do a sports one where he's in a beer league, softball league, kind of like that Artie Lang movie Beer League. I could see that working. Also a 90s kind of vibe or early 2000s.
Yeah, Dude's Evening. That's when everybody gets together, yeah. And it's a terrific time to have something to drink that you don't normally drink because it's got plastic in it, yeah. Thanks for leaving out that bologna sandwich just the way I like it, yeah. This is Tito Santana's cup of chamomile and coffee mate in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee mate and chamomile in the big time, yeah. Because you'll never get closer than now. No, you won't. I am the cream, yeah. And the cream will rise to the top, yeah.
How many left we got? Maybe 2 or 3 more?
12 or 13.
At 12 or 13?
Yeah, no, but I don't think we have to complete the whole assignment. But this is an interesting thing. What if there's like...
Well, hold on a second. We're not going to complete the assignment?
How can we? 15 movies is insane.
So the episode...
I don't even know how many we've done.
Yeah, so the Patreon episode will end without us having completed that assignment?
Possibly.
And that's free will.
How about Russell Crowe as January 6th guy? And it's a kind of hard-hitting Michael Mann type movie, like The Insider. Did you ever see The Insider?
I don't remember because it has a title for a
it's
movie
so
like
good.
The Insider. Wait,
Yeah.
what's it about?
He is a whistleblower on Big Tobacco. And Michael
I
Mann
did see
directed
that.
it.
Yeah.
God, that movie was good. He won
Yeah.
an Oscar for it, I think.
Is that what
Or
he won an
no,
Oscar
he won the Oscar for Gladiator the year later, and everybody said that it was
a
like
makeup. Yeah.
makeup for not giving it to him for The Insider because he was fucking awesome in that. But I could see him doing an interesting version of it. I could see a DeVito version of it that's like just a fucking 80s almost slapstick comedy.
With Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger getting ready to go to the Capitol.
It's Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger are both trying to figure out who is the GOAT in terms of being a January 6th guy.
Right. And on their way, and they're on their way to the January 6th fucking riot. And they're like, and it's like, I'm telling you, and Danny DeVito was January 6th guy because he sounds like this. Funnier than you, Riga. That's my new impersonation for 2023. Good. Funnier than you, Riga. Not a very good Danny DeVito. You lied to me.
I think I got the plot.
Yes.
They both start in Long Island. They're trying to get to DC for January 6th.
Yeah.
And they keep running into the same snafus. They get to the rental car place. There's only one car left. Which of them is going to get it? Right. They get to the next place. There's only one bus ticket left. Which of them is going to get it? And they're fighting each other on a road trip movie to Washington, D.C. in January 6th.
I dig that. It's like a planes, trains, and automobiles where they're not getting together at all. They're both wily, salty commuters. And they're competing until they get to it at the end. And I think at that point, they have to be pals, right?
Yeah.
We do get that sappy studio.
The final thing is they look at each other as the crowd is like forming around them. There's only one like stanchion left that they can pick up and bust down a window with. And instead of like fighting over it, they both grab it at the same time and they nod and they help each other knock in the window.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's fucking tremendous. Oh, that is so good. That's a good one. But the Michael Mann one, too.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
You know what? Let's do this for another 2 hours and come up with all 15.
Well, now I think we're at like 6 or 7.
No, now we're at like 1.
That isn't how it works.
That's math, dude. That's bad math, dude. Whenever you do something a bunch of times and then you say that it's just 1, brother. But math doesn't matter. Nothing matters. No, only the gold. Yeah. And this Intercontinental title, yeah, that gets me in the picture for the world title. Hulk Hogan, yeah, I'm talking about you. And you know it. And everybody knows what they're knowing, the things that they have inside of their head, their cabeza. That's where you put things that you know.
There's a Titanic version where it is 40 or 50 years in the future. Long Island January 6th guy is super old at this point. He's at the inauguration of whatever president that is, and we're living in a utopia. And he has his grandson or granddaughter there with him, and she or he says, this is so great. It's amazing that we live in such a great country. And he's like, well, it wasn't always like that. And then we flash back to a hero piece, just like Titanic, like treated very regally, treated like a big sweeping epic of him storming the Capitol on that day. And that's ultimately what gave us this utopia they now exist in the future.
Fucking hell, dude. So
it's like an alternate history too. It's a retelling.
What would be the thing that you would feed into the AI to get that? Hey, AI, there's a great war and only one side wins.
Yeah.
Give me what a Titanic style movie would be.
Yeah. Titanic style
reviewing the January 6th insurrection.
I would go with alternate history of January 6th that led to American utopia as told through a Titanic style flashback movie. Starring Timothy Chalamet as all characters.
You're not going to need Michael Mann anymore. I'll tell you that right now.
No, dude. We've talked about this. You're not going to need anything. It's if you've got an idea in your head, you can have it made for you. It's fascinating. I love it.
Let's also do one a January 6th guy that is like the movie The Warriors.
Okay.
Where they have to...
That's like rival gangs of protesters. It's like him navigating all the different sub-factions within all the protesters who stormed the Capitol, the insurrectionists,
but
so that he can get to the front and get in the building.
Yeah. So in this one, they don't get to that. They don't even get to the big convention of all the different gangs in New York, where Cyrus is like, 50,000 soldiers. There's only 20,000 police in the entire city. And that whole thing. They don't even get to that because shit breaks down before that. And now it's all about who's going to complete January 6th on their own. Only one faction can get to, it's like a video game.
Dude, or it could be the opposite. the insurrection goes off, and now 100 years later, DC is run by all the sub-rival factions that were there on that day. And it's about and it's about a family of generation after generation of Congress people who have hidden in the basement of the Capitol, and it's the kids of them are now like, we're not going to live in this basement anymore. We have to get out of this city. And they want to break out and get through the city. Kind of an escape from New York type vibe as well.
And can they all be inbred horror monsters? Like
Barbarian?
Like Barbarian?
It's Barbarian meets The Warriors meets January 6th.
Yeah, but also they're like creature-like because they've been in these catacombs, kept down there.
Yeah, sunlight hurts them and shit.
For generations, not even like the character in Barbarian who's been down there for their whole life. This has been like 2 or 3 generations, so they're like completely different creatures,
like the Morlocks
in a way. They like run on all fours or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay,
that's a real good one. There's another one.
How about January 6th guy? It's like King Ralph. January 6th guy somehow gets elected president. He gives like an impassioned speech on the steps right as they're coming out, and it's like, we have stormed this, and this is a victory, and whatever. He becomes like a huge figure and gets elevated to winning the election. And now he's got to learn politics from the inside and realizes he doesn't actually know anything about it.
What if there's one like Big Night where it's just January 6th guy owns a really nice restaurant in Long Island?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And it's just like kind of a nice thing about him and his wife fucking having this place for years and kind of coming on some hard times, and one of their kids this or that, and so-and-so is moving in with so-and-so, and Nona's not doing so good, she's going to move in. And it's by the end of it, it's like, you know what? We're a good family. And here's some fucking frutti di mare.
I love it.
It ends on Dude's Evening, and they're all eating fucking linguine with clams. So there's one.
Great.
And then
what if it's this? What if it's January 6th guy is just taking his family on a vacation to Washington, D.C. They've never been. Let's see the Capitol. He's not involved in the protests or anything. But while they're there, the fucking insurrection starts popping off, and his wife and children get sucked up in the crowd and pulled into the thing. Help, help us! They can't help that they're getting sucked into the Capitol building, and he's now got to go in Liam Neeson style to get them back.
Liam Neeson or Chevy Chase, because it's National Lampoon's Family Insurrection.
Thank you. Moving on.
We did it, dude. That seemed like 15 movies. I don't even know where we started.
Well, the first 15 were kind of okay. The next like 23 or 24 weren't that good. But I think like the last 48 movies that we just came up with were actually not that bad.
No, some of those were viable. I'd watch some of those for sure.
This concludes today's astonishing Patreon bonus segment. Thank you for joining us this week. I will use the data I've collected to make next week even better. Until then, call me Dudesy.
And I heard him exclaim as he walked down that aisle out of sight. A chill dude's evening to all, and to all a good night. Oh, yeah!
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and